And is why is this here? Did we get something new?
Chris Reynolds said, could we just print out a copy for everyone to see?
Okay.
Sure, no problem.
Okay.
The mics are hot, just so you know, FYI. You can chat with whoever's online. Just so you know, everything's on and off. Just give everybody, I'd like to give people fair warning. You could. Yeah, you can do that. I thought that was no problem. I'm trying to close it.
All right, good evening. We'll call the meeting to order with the Pledge of Allegiance. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our August meeting. We will start first with a review of the meeting minutes from our July meeting. The unanimous vote. Do we have any questions or comments from the board on the meeting minutes? Okay, Christine, so we're approved there. Next, we'll move on to presentations, and we do have one presentation tonight, Mr. Gabriel, for the ATSI plan. This is on the agenda later under the curriculum section. So Mr. Gabriel is going to give us a heads up of what we're going to be reviewing there. I have one already. Yep.
All right, lead off. Good evening, everybody. As Mr. Owen said, I'm just going to present briefly on our ATSI plan. So pretty much ATSI plan targets subgroups in our student body for areas of improvement for the upcoming school year. It's pretty much based upon our previous test scores, attendance, some other indicators as well, graduation rates. So basically I gave you the handouts here in terms of kind of the background on what a ATSI plan is, how it runs. Kind of gave the equivalent of, being up in the major leagues and you're batting maybe 250, and then all of a sudden you start slumping, and they take you down to the minors a little bit to try and give you some incentives to work a little bit harder, do a little bit better, bring it back up to the majors. So we've got two targeted areas that we're working on. And this work began last year, but it's also been ramped up in the past 2 days as we've kicked off our in-service days with teachers. So we've got two areas of deficiency that we're tackling this year. We have an Algebra 1 Keystone exam targeted group that we are trying to improve test scores on, and we also have a targeted group in our attendance that we are ramping up procedures and protocols to basically get kids to school. We have seen some improvements with a lot of these, but we're not quite there yet. If you look at the handout I gave you, we have a couple systems in play. We are not an MTSS school, but we do have two major incentives that we've been working on these past couple of years. We are a PBIS school, which is part of an MTSS structure, and we also this year, with the help of Mr. McNeil, we are starting Tier 2 interventions, which are basically identifying some deficiencies within students and giving them the proper, supports that they need individually in classrooms. So that is new. We've never done that before. We've restructured our schedule with our teachers and instructional coaches and some of our math teachers to be able to provide those incentives to kids, and that give them also some more instruction on those areas of where they need to improve. That's really about it. On the back side, our goals, we have our goals listed there as well. We have 3 of them. Like I said, we've started the past couple of days with our faculty meetings, the past couple of days with our PLC meetings, meeting in buildings, and also our vertical alignment PLC meetings. And as far as the family engagement, that is an ongoing thing that we work on across all of our programs. We are starting back trying to put on a show Friday nights for the Valley with our football team, some other things that we have in play. I can't release some of the stuff yet because it's kind of a secret, and I haven't been given the go-ahead, but we do have a lot of stuff in play at the high school level that I really think is going to bring the community together. So really excited. Any questions about what you have in front of you? Okay. All right.
Thank you, Mr. Gabriel.
Thank you.
Okay, again, that will be up for vote later in the agenda. Next, we'll move on to committee reports, finance and operations.
I'll do that one, Mr. President. So we had a really good conversation. We had the business office, we had facilities there, And we also talked to our solicitor. A couple of things on the tasks that we are working on. Kyle has brought to us some things that he has taken care of this year by repainting the new gym interior, exterior pillars, and the 3rd Street entrance metal is now completed. You guys will notice that outside the school. There's been some plaster repair. There's been numerous things. They replaced a 160-foot drain pipe at the softball field. That was an issue, and you can talk to him later about what they found. It's just pretty impressive on what they've done. Very happy with the report that he has given us. It's something much needed, and it's really impressed us all in the committee. On the business side, I'd like to welcome Tracy. She's into it 4 weeks now, and she gave us a great update, and she's just trying to get her hands into everything, and we're excited to see what's to come. So we're very happy to see you here, and looking forward to what you can do for us. And that completes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Next, personnel policy.
He looked right at you.
You got mixed up tonight.
You guys will get tired because I have 3 things that I'm going to have to report out for tonight. But on our policies, we are suggesting tonight we just move forward 137, 814. Do you want me to tell you what they are? 137 is the home education program. 814, the copyright materials. 815, acceptable use of internet, computers, and network resources. And 827, conflict of interest. We're suggesting to move to second read because of additions and changes and updates. 626, which is federal fiscal compliance. And 626.1, which is a procurements, and those numbers change every year. Bids moved up to 23,800, regular procurement is 12,900. We also have some changes in that policy where we're having 2 people sign off. So we're having special programs coordinator, the solicitor needs to sign off on a few, as well as the business manager. So we're updating that we have a few other people sign off. We're going to move to second read 811 bonding, 812 property insurance, is that right? And 813, yes. I think that's all we have to move to second. So you guys will get the updates with our suggestions for review for next month so that we can vote on those. And that is all. That's a lot, but that's all.
All right, thank you. Next, we have curriculum.
The curriculum committee met. We went over the ATSI plan, which is what Mr. Gabriel reviewed with us here. We then discussed enrollment. I guess every year, it seems like in August, there's an increase or rush of enrollment, so of new students enrolling. The WOLA, those are all the students are enrolled and ready. There's been summer preparation with schedules, materials, and supplies. Onboarding, getting students so that they'll be set up for Schoology and the other online programs. We discussed, and has been discussed, I think, over the last couple meetings, was the book study and the trauma training that's been going on and continuing. We discussed the instructional coaches, completed training with the IU. We'll continue with support from our curriculum director and the IU this year, and big push into data dives with the instructional coaches and also with the teachers, and plans of testing, the standards and how those move, and then our results versus the states. Currently the start of the 4 days of in-service, which is going well, and getting ready for class on Monday, and that is it.
Thanks, Mr. James. So next we have the extracurricular committee.
That'll be me.
Cindy again, okay.
We met this evening before the meeting with our athletic director, Cody, and we went over spring coach evaluations and also the fall sports contracts for head coaches and assistant coaches. He gave us some number updates. Junior high volleyball, there's I think 54, or huge numbers. They got plenty for 2 or 3 teams. Junior high soccer also is up by 48 or 54. They'll have 2 teams, black and silver, and 20 some or 30 on each. And as when we get to the high school, volleyball for junior high or junior varsity and varsity, I believe has 28 players. Football currently is at 36, and soccer is at 28, and cross country at 27. And I think junior high cheer was around 19 or 20 they had for that. He had numbers for that as well. So numbers in participation are up. We have full teams, which is good.
Great. Thank you, Ms. Cooper. All right, next we'll move on to the superintendent's report.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Just real quick, the school year is fast approaching. In fact, on Monday, we get to welcome back our students for 2025-2026. One thing that I do want to say is, you know, we've been working hard all summer. Things that are happening with Kyle and his team, Chris Gorsline and his team, the central office, that it doesn't go unnoticed, the hard work they're putting in to make sure that we're ready. I want to thank them all. Our custodians and all the staff that make our buildings incredibly shiny. They don't have to be brand new, but if they're well taken care of, they can last for forever, and they're doing a heck of a nice job at that. We owe them a debt of gratitude. They definitely worked really hard this summer. You will be really impressed if you walk into places like the old high school gym. It does not look like the old high school gym anymore. It looks fantastic. They did a lot of work in there. It's just little things. That's all you got to do to keep some upkeep, to keep the pride, and it looks really amazing. Still, no state budget. I do not want to push the panic button yet, but it's definitely finger on it. Keep your eyes open. Make sure that we get a budget. My biggest fear is that we lose what we're anticipated to get, because that would put us in a real pickle. So we really need to push for our state legislators to abide by the law that they created, that they should have a budget adopted by June 30th, much like they demand and require by law that schools have a budget adopted by June 30th. If you recall, there was a year we did not get an adopted budget until March of the following year. I do not think that that will bode well for us this time around. We were very fortunate last time. With that being said, still keep your eyes out, keep your ears open, and let me know if there's anything I can do to help dispel any of the miscommunications and rumors out there. It's one of my focuses this year, is to be honest, direct, and transparent. So with that being said, I conclude my report and wish us all the best.
Thank you, Dr. Stage. So we have nobody for Blast IU, so we'll go on to the Career Center. So the third time, Ms. Cooper?
This will be it. I had the pleasure of stopping by and going through the Career Center about a week or so ago. The facility looks fantastic. They've moved HVAC into the old machining, and they're all set up and ready to go for the school year. And what that opens up is 2 full rooms for welding. So welding 1 will have their own room and study area, and welding 2 is the whole brand new. We've got 20 new booths all ready to go. And all of the programs with the 8 school districts are at capacity, and their first day is this Thursday. And the adult nursing program is graduating all 34 in a week of all of them that are moving on. So good things happening at the Career Center. They're excited to have the kids back.
Always impressive down there. Thank you, Ms. Cooper. All right, and lastly, we have PSBA. Ms. Hart?
No
updates? Okay, thank you. All right, next we'll move to Mr. Barrett for solicitor's items.
You have on your agenda a copy of a resolution I prepared at the request of the assessment office. If property taxes are not paid for several years, the court can do what's called order a judicial sale, which will sell the property with no liens, back taxes, anything. It just goes to get rid of it. In this particular case, there was one manufactured home in our school district which did not sell at judicial sale, and they're able to negotiate a private sale with someone, but it has to be approved by you. It's a nominal fee of $300. I did check And just to explain, a manufactured home, mobile home, house trailer, whatever you want to call them, has a separate tax ID. If a person has one on their own land, the land would have a tax bill and it would have a tax bill. This has no real estate attached. It's just this particular item that probably, I would assume it has to be moved, and that's why the low price and everything else. And it's just something required in the law, and I want it, and I would recommend you approve this, and I think maybe you could do it right now if
Yeah.
you'd like to.
All right, yeah, so do we have a motion and a second to bring up to vote the real estate repository bid resolution?
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution.
I'll second.
Okay. Any questions on the resolution? Okay, Christine will go for vote.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Owen?
Yes.
Mr. Rude?
Yes.
Mrs. Smart?
Yes.
Mrs. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Frisbee?
Yes.
And Mr. Johnson?
Yes. Thank you.
Continue my report, I had told you last meeting I had 2 personnel matters on my desk. One has been resolved and one we're probably going to have to litigate. Secondly, that tax appeal is still moving forward, and that's the Lowe's tax appeal. And we have some pretty good data on that, so as that progresses, I'll fill you in. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Barrett. Okay, next we'll go to visitors' comments for board action items. Do we have any visitor comments on board action items? Okay, next, do we have a motion and a second for financial business?
Second.
Okay, so this evening we have our normal financial business, our bills, our general fund checks, our cafeteria bills, our earned income tax report, and our secretary treasurer report. So our typical items. Any questions from anybody on the board for those items? Okay, Christine?
Mr. Owen?
Yes.
Mr. Rude?
Yes.
Mrs. Smart?
Yes.
Mrs. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Frisbee?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
And Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Thank you. Next, do we have a motion and a second for personnel?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. So we have a couple items under personnel, our normal personnel listing, as well as the Title I paraprofessional job title change memo. So for the personnel listing, we have several support resignations, several support contracts, some long-term subs, professional contract, professional resignation, Act 93 position, non-bargaining retirement, some student employments, and then some volunteers. Dr. Sage, anything you'd like to add on any of those items before we?
I would like to discuss quickly the Title I title change, the memo to change the title. That's simply for us to stay in compliance with the funding. So we do that for the salary. So we have to designate who that is, and that's simple. It doesn't change their job duties or classifications, and I spoke to Mrs. Freeman about that, the AIESPA Association president about that, and she understands that. If there's any questions about the personnel, I'll gladly answer them.
Thank you. Any questions from the board on the personnel items? Okay, Christine?
Mr. Rude?
Yes.
Mrs. Smart?
Yes.
Mrs. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Frisbee?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
And Mr. Owen?
Yes.
Mr. Owen, if you would be so kind as to allow me to introduce some of the people here tonight. Some of them you just approved as recommendations for hire. I want to start with Aubrey Carrington. Aubrey, would you stand up and let everybody see who you are? Aubrey is going to be going into the elementary classroom at Lynch Buston. She has been with us in numerous roles over the years. It's glad to be able to bring her back and fill a much-needed vacancy that I'll discuss in a minute. Also, I'd like to welcome Samantha Hall and Catherine McBride, if you both could stand up. Both of them actually work for us. They are in our support staff, but they are now transitioning into long-term sub positions in special education. I think Samantha will be placed at Harlan Row Middle School, and Catherine, or Katie, will be at SRU in the ES classroom. I'm very excited for both of them. It's a true testament that we do offer opportunities for career progression, and I want to thank them both for stepping up because it's going to be hectic, and I wish you the best. But they know it, and they're excited. And certainly, a lot of prayers will need to go towards Miss Heather Westbrook, who's transitioning after. Heather, let me get this correct. 24 years in the classroom. 25 years in the classroom. Feels like 75, I'm sure. And she has been bound and determined to challenge herself in new roles, and she's interviewed and accepted the position for assistant principal at Rowe Middle School. Aubrey Carrington's actually filling her position at Lynch Buston. So, Heather, we're incredibly excited for her to join, and I think Jim is sleeping much better at night now. So, congratulations and welcome aboard.
All right, thank you, Dr. Stage. All right, next we'll move on to contracts and agreements. Do we have a motion and a second?
So move. Second.
Okay, so we have several items here this evening, so I'll just summarize those. So we have the Title I Services Agreement with Grace Christian, the Keystone Red Rock Job Corps Partnership Agreement, the Keystone College Dual Enrollment Agreement, the Questec E-Rate Services Proposal, the Admin Office Cleaning Agreement, the Act 93 Agreement, the Alternative Ed for Disruptive Youth with River Rock Agreement, the River Rock Academy for seat reservations, and the YMCA before and after school program. Dr. Stage, anything you'd like to attend any of those?
Not to belabor the point, but I do think it's good that I let you know what these are all about. The Title I Services Agreement for Grace Christian, when we have students that attend there that live within our district boundaries and qualify for Title I services, we have to then do a pass-through to that school. So that sets that rate and it sets that service. The Keystone Red Rock Job Corps, we've never actually taken advantage of it, but it's another pathway for students, if needed, for them to get their whole education, where the public education environment that we're providing may not fit for them. All it does is it asks us to provide some academic pieces to it, and it allows them to attend. So it's at no cost. Obviously, we want to continue our dual enrollment. You'll see some videos at the end of this week on the value of dual enrollment. Powerful, interesting stuff, so stay tuned. Wildcat Superintendent on YouTube and on TikTok. Follow. Just kidding. No, I'm not kidding. Do that. Questec E-Rate Services Proposal. Questec is our IT provider. It makes total sense that they handle our E-Rate grant so that they can efficiently manage that E-Rate grant money. We did it last year, so it's a simple year-over-year request. We were paying a lot of money. We absolutely loved working with Penn York, but it was just a little financially out of our grasp. So we looked for and actually solicited one of our former retirees, the clean queen herself, Lisa Horton. So that is a cost savings for us to bring in some cleaning to the admin office, which is much needed. The Act 93 agreement, I think we've explained that a lot. It's 15 or 16 people. They're without. It's one of 3 contracts that I know the negotiating team is working on. It's pretty straightforward. River Rock is not just an alternative ed for disruptive youth placement now, but they're also a private academic facility. And you'll notice in our contract for seats, the 7 are for AEDY and 3 are for the PAL. And they're split between elementary and secondary. It's an excellent program. They're located in Wysox. They have a permanent facility now. They've been in Troy and Canton. I think Tracy might have had to work with them a little bit at Troy. So we're excited to partner with them. It is for 10 seats, but we may revise that after this year. So it's just based on usage. And then the YMCA before and after school program, I do want to note, this program did exist at SRU Elementary, and the YMCA ran that. It was the people paid for it through the YMCA. The YMCA came to us and said it's just not financially feasible for us to operate it out of SRU. I said, what if we can offer some alternatives? We would still like to offer before and after school care. They talked about coming to Lynch, and then we're also going to try to work on providing some transportation in the afternoon to make sure that at least we can get some coverage in the afternoon. This agreement is one more step. We still have some licensing to do. It might not be up and running by the first day of school, but I'd rather try to offer something than nothing. So I just want to reiterate, we didn't shut the program down at SRU. It was completely just an unfortunate, like, financial decision that the Y had. And they also ramped up their services. They took over not Discover the World Foundations with Guthrie. So I think that exhausts everything on that list. Or you're just exhausted from listening.
Thank you, Dr. Stick.
We don't know.
Any questions from the board on those items? All right, Christine.
Mrs. Smart? Mrs. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Frisbee?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Owen?
Yes.
And Mr. Rude?
Yes.
Okay, next, do we have a motion and a second for policies?
So moved. Second.
Okay, so we have A through J. Ms. Cooper, could you just
Yes.
summarize again which
Yep.
ones are moving to
The
second
the
reading?
ones that we are moving to second read are B, C, D, E, F, and G.
Okay,
The ones we're passing through tonight are A, H, I, and J.
so A, H, I, and J, we're saying approve those as the final
As
read
is,
tonight.
and the others will be going to
B
second
through
read.
G will go to second read for next
Correct.
time, okay. Okay, thank you. Anything additional that the committee wants to provide on those, or any questions from the board on those policies? Okay, Christine?
Mrs. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Frisbee?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Owen?
Yes.
Mr. Rude?
Yes.
And Mrs. Smart?
Yes.
Okay. Next, do we have a motion and a second for curriculum and instruction?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so a few items here this evening. So first is a memo for driver education, a slight cost increase for participants in that program. We have a field trip request for FFA coming up here in a few weeks. We have the ATSI plan that Mr. Gabriel briefed at the beginning of the meeting. And then we also have the 2026 senior class trip request to Universal in Orlando this coming spring. Dr. Sage, anything you'd like to add on?
Just real quick, I think everything else is pretty self-explanatory, but just to reiterate, we've asked the senior class to put their trip requests in about this time of the year, and they were within a certain budget amount. That this trip has been pretty standard for the last, I think, 3 years, 2-3 years. So it's well within the price point that we've set for that. So I think if that's a concern. All I know is I tend to pick up a kid from the airport because they're sick. I usually pick up a kid at the airport because they're sick.
Let's not, not this year, hopefully.
Do we need to add that to the? Mileage for the superintendent to?
Rochester, no, no? All right, any questions from the board on those 4 items? Okay, Christine.
Mr. Frisbee?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Owen?
Yes.
Mr. Rude?
Yes.
Mrs. Smart?
Yes.
And Mrs. Cooper?
Yes.
Okay, next, transportation. Do we have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so we have our drivers list for the upcoming school year across the various companies. We also have a couple bus upgrades from Chambers and Jenkins. So I think fairly straightforward. Dr. Sage, anything you want to add on those? Okay. Okay, any questions from the board on those 3 items?
I do have one.
Yes, sir.
I noticed when looking over the notes that Chambers Bus Company, they do not have it labeled whether it's a driver or of the 2 different vehicles, which they can either drive a school bus or they can drive the smaller vehicles. The other ones have got that noted, what vehicles they can drive and what they cannot. Can we make sure that Chambers puts that in, please, so we have an understanding who can drive the buses and who cannot? That's the only company that I noticed that did not have that.
Yeah, I could do that. I think what was happening on this list, if they were listed as a bus driver but not a substitute, it didn't say. It said there's only one that says van next to it, so You want to know whether they're all bus.
Yes, I
and
want to
all
know if
van.
they're all, they're
CDLB.
required to CDL to drive the bus, so
Or
they're
just
able
driver's
to drive
license.
buses in an emergency. I
Yep.
just noticed the difference between the contracts that stated some are and some are not.
Got
I
it.
just noticed Chambers did
Yep.
not have anything on that list.
That's not a problem, and I truly think that most of those names on there, other than Regina Inman, I think most of them are probably CDLB drivers. Which-
Just like that clarified. please.
Yeah, yep, we'll definitely take care of it. That's a good catch.
Okay, anything else? Okay, Christine?
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Owen?
Yes.
Mr. Rude?
Yes.
Mrs. Smart?
Yes.
Mrs. Cooper?
Yes.
And Mr. Frisbee?
Yes.
Okay, we have nothing for buildings and grounds this evening. Next is the other section. Do we have a motion and a second for section 15 other?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so the item we have here this evening is the school board meeting dates for the 25-26 school year. So I know there's some slight changes, I believe, from the past, right? So I think sticking to primarily one per month, but a couple of months we're recommending a couple meetings just based on the typically busy months for business. So so this would be starting next month, right? Looking at doing two meetings
Correct.
in September, 2 meetings in May, right? And then 1 meeting per month.
Yeah, so just taking the feedback from everybody saying, look at it historically where we tend to have 2 meetings per month. May, we always tended to add a meeting, and same with September. We did put on there July to be determined, and if necessary, because there are many times we don't need to meet in July. So we wanted to make sure that that was another thing that we just tried to listen to what I think feed you guys your needs. By law, I just want to make sure everybody knows, by law, you guys only have to meet 6 times a year. Okay.
So Dr. Say, the assumption would be that those months we have 2 meetings. The first meeting of the month would be a work session, the second meeting of the month would be a regular
No,
board meeting? Or
they're
both
both going
gonna be
to be voting meetings, and our bills will be in the first meeting of every month.
Okay, but both will be full on.
Yep.
meetings.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, yep.
And they're all located here.
Yep, okay. Any questions from the board on that schedule? Okay, Christine?
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Owen?
Yes.
Mr. Rude?
Yes.
Mrs. Smart?
Yes.
Mrs. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Frisbee?
Yes.
And Mr. Johnson?
Yes. Okay, next, do we have any visitor comments? Okay, so the remaining part of the agenda, we have a few items that are just for information that do not require board action, so some personnel transfers, our Sunday facility use report, a thank you letter from Representative Pickett's office, and field trip requests. That there are none of this time beyond what we already voted on. Do we have any board discussion items this evening?
I just have one, Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
I just want to let everyone understand how important this budget is to passing. And I'm hoping that people realize this because a lot of schools do not have a Plan B ready. Budgets are tight as we see right now, and I think we need to contact our local people that represent Harrisburg and let them know that this is an important item that needs to be taken care of. That a lot of schools with tight budgets as is around the state, they're going to see some hardships if we don't get something figured out soon. So I want everybody to understand the importance of that, the general public, that if they can contact their local people and try to get some word spread that how important it is and what it can do to our local districts.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Any other items from the board this evening? Okay, so our next meeting is September 9th, in a couple weeks. We do not have a need for exec session this evening, I do not believe. Do we?
No, we do.
Tonight? We do, okay.
We do.
So we do need an exec session tonight, my bad. Shows up behind my email.
thought you knew something we didn't.
So we will do a brief exec session this evening. Tonight's going to be personnel and contracts. So we'll do that following the meeting. So with that, do we have a motion and a second to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All right, meeting adjourned. Thank you all. I saw that you wanted to do the committee meeting. I guess I missed it.
Nice meeting with your son.
I heard you were meeting, but I just got back to town, so I haven't really talked to him.